This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and I'd like to welcome you to the Success Mentorship Call, number 119. And as you know, this call is based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, and it is available on Amazon and on our website, www.12, that's the number 12, ULS. And when you order it on our website, you get a free bonus, a lot of free goodies. I'd also like to thank our many followers. You know, last week we had an incredible lesson. We talked about overcoming doubt. And so many of you have added people on. I've been seeing other people joining us, and I asked each of you to invite 3 people to join. And I say thank you so much, because clearly it's working. Today's topic is, are you being led to your destiny? And it's a very interesting topic, because we so often talk about our destiny and, you know, what we want to be, do, and have. And when I started preparing for this, there were a number of, you might say, quotes that really stood out. And one was a quote by, let me pull it up, William Shakespeare. And Shakespeare's always been a good, an inspiration for me. And the quote basically said that our destiny is not in our stars, but in ourselves. I'll say that again. Our destiny is not in our stars, but in ourselves. Now that's a powerful thought. In other words, we look at destiny, and sometimes people say, well, what is destiny? Destiny is a fate. It's what you're supposed to become. It's what you were created to be. And that's absolutely true. Your destiny is the manifestation and the fulfillment of your purpose, the reason you were created to be on this earth. The interesting thing, though, is that how do we get to our destiny? And that's why the topic, are you being led to your destiny, really struck me. Because it's a, well, if that's the case, how do I get to my destiny? What do I have to do? And this is particularly interesting when we look at our lives right now. Sometimes in our lives, we may be experiencing setbacks, disappointments, failures, and all of these negative things may end up even leading to discouragement. And so you have to ask yourself, if these situations are happening, and especially if they're happening over and over again. And if they're happening over and over again, you might even see a pattern. And I sometimes think of it, a pattern of failure. And when you develop a pattern of failure, you then put into play the greatest, you might say, failure creator, the expectation of failure. Whatever we expect, we get. And so when we have an expectation of failure, guess what? We get failure. And so when we look at our condition right now, especially in terms of the pandemic and being quarantined and all of these different things, we often ask ourselves, why do these things happen to me? Why am I going through this? What am I doing to create this particular situation in my life? What choices have I made that have brought me here? Hermann Hesse, one of the great writers who wrote one of my favorite books, Siddhartha, and to sort of paraphrase him, he said that all of the things that happen to you, all of the experiences that you have, good or bad, positive or negative, that in the proper perspective can be given value and be converted into something very positive and very powerful. So we're really saying that all of the things you're going through right now, it's for a purpose. One of the programs that I didn't particularly care for, but I used to watch it, was a program, what was it called? Seinfeld. And someone noted that it is one of the most popular programs that there ever was. And the program basically had such popularity that a drama group studied, and they wanted to see, well, why was Seinfeld so popular? And after much study, they concluded it was very popular because it really had no plot. That each program was just a series of occurrences going from this thing to that thing, this situation to that situation, with really no connection. And that maybe the reason it was so popular is because so many people want to live their lives in this fashion, where they go from day to day, from moment to moment, from experience to experience, with really no plot, just being. And so that, my friends, is not where you want to be. Those of us who are on this broadcast, I like to think of us as the seekers, the people who have the gift of consciousness, and some people say the burden of consciousness. And what I mean is this: if you're in a situation right now where you can look at your situation and say, wow, I'm unhappy. This is not what I signed up for. I certainly don't want to be here. If you can look at your life and have those type of questioning, you're in a good place. Because that's saying that you have an internal GPS. Now we know GPS is Global Positioning System, and it's a satellite interaction system so that you can determine where you are at any point on the globe. I like to think of I'll call it the LPS, the Life Positioning System. And it's a system where you can figure out where you are in your life at any particular point in time. And the Life Positioning System operates on 3 principles: feelings, direction, and purpose. And so when your life positioning system is telling you everything is okay, then that means you feel great. You feel good inside. That means the direction of your life, the trajectory of your life is like a predetermined trajectory to your goal, to your purpose. And that means that you're completely aligned with your purpose. And so when we speak of, are you being led to your destiny? It is really with this in mind. Is your life positioning system guiding you to that point where you will achieve happiness, where you'll be going in the direction of your dreams, and where you'll realize your purpose? There are times in life, though, that you really wonder. I have a good friend, and he's probably on the line today, Andre Saunders. Andre's a songwriter. We used to work together. We had a couple of hit records. We wrote music together for years. And before I met him, I was at a point in my life, I wrote a song, and the song was called Roads. And the words went like this: wandering down the path that is my life, wondering if I'm ever gonna make it. Looking around the corners I cannot see, wondering what my life holds for me. Now, folks, I'm gonna tell you this. I know that some of you who are watching today, some of you are listening today, may be at that point where you're wandering down your life, where you're wondering if you're gonna make it. It is in these moments when you question who you are, what you're about. It is in these moments that we develop the awareness. I call it an uncomfortable awareness of self, of ourselves. It is at these points when we examine who we are. And this pandemic, you know, many of us who've been in this space of, what do you call it, quarantine. My daughter's been doing these songs, her quarantine broadcasts, that many of us who've been experiencing this quarantine situation, are at that point where we begin to wonder, where we begin to question, where the things we thought were certain are now uncertain. These are those times when we shake our heads and say, why? Well, folks, let me tell you this. When we're at these points, we become aware. We start to look for answers. You know, the next verse of the song said this. It said, some roads lead to sorrow. Some roads lead to joy. Some roads lead to other roads, and some roads go nowhere at all. But the fact that you're looking at a road, the fact that you're looking is a spiritual principle, and it says this: seek first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto you. Kingdom is consciousness. And so when we're at a point in our lives where we are wandering down that path that is our lives, wondering if we're going to make it, seek the consciousness of that which you were created for. Seek the consciousness of that which you desire, and then the law of attraction will operate and help draw those things into your life. And so this idea of being led to our destiny is, as we go through these challenging experiences, it's okay. Because every experience that we have is for a purpose. We often wonder, if we look at the molecular structure for a piece of coal and a diamond, pretty much the same. So what is the difference between a piece of coal and a diamond? It's pressure. And so as we move towards our destiny, the life pressures that we feel, the challenges that we're experiencing, the hardships that we endure, the unhappiness that we feel inside is the pressure that can help us become the diamonds that we were created to be. These hardships, these disappointments, these experiences are for a good purpose. It is to help us hone out, help us carve out the person of our destiny, the manifestation of our purpose. And so it is in these experiences that we learn more about ourselves. And so are we led to our destiny? Absolutely. And we're led to our destiny because as we go through these experiences and we follow the process, and we're going to talk about the process in a moment, we become the person we were created to be. You see, the Creator creates no junk. Everything is created for a purpose. And the manifestation of that purpose is your destiny. Question often arises, are we always led to our destiny? Yes, but we can choose otherwise. One of the things that undermine our journey to our destiny is doubt. You know, when Peter walked on the water, the symbolic representation is that you have the capacity to do things that on the physical plane seem impossible. When I walked on 11 feet of hot coals with Tony Robbins, I darn sure thought it was impossible, but once I did it, it was done. And so in our lives, when we have these challenges, they are to force us, to make us move along the journey to the next level, to the next step, so that we can learn who we are, so that we can feel more, so that we can be more, so that we can do more. My daughter Olivia and I were riding along yesterday, and she said, you know, Dad, you are very different now from the dad I believed you to be a number of years ago. And I don't know if there's a greater realization you can have from your child. But when she said that, my answer was, I am different. I'm not the same. that this process of following our destiny, of growing to our destiny, of being led to our destiny has made me a different person. And that is why it is so powerful, that other spiritual principle, be still and know. That principle is so powerful because it is in those moments when it says, when you go into the closet of your consciousness, when you go into the quiet space between is and is not, that you can find yourself. So when you look at where you are right now, you may not be happy with your situation. You may not be happy with the thoughts you have, with the feelings you have, with the habits you've developed. You may not be happy with the people you're associated with, but I'm reminded of one of those old country phrases, and it says, I'm not who I want to be. I'm not who I'm going to be. But thank God I'm not who I was. And so if you're in this situation right now where it seems kind of bleak and kind of challenging, look back and say, you know what? Hey, I'm still better than I used to be. Give yourselves a pat on the back, because it's just positive proof of the process of evolution, of the process of growth to your purpose and your destiny. Some of us may look at where we are right now and say, wow, this is terrible. I've lost my way. My thoughts are negative. My feelings are painful. My habits are counterproductive. My associations are undermining who I am. But the second law of success says, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so, my friends, this is the process. This is how we get there. We are indeed being led to our destiny, but we are being led through the process, through the feel of experience and feeling, so that we can be honed from the coal that we feel or think ourselves to be, to the diamond of who we really are. So what are the steps? Step one, be aware. And really be aware of two things. Be aware of your condition. That when you look at the situation that you're in right now, it's very important to be aware of it, to see it for all that it is. But to also realize that that's all that it is. Because the second aspect of awareness is to be aware of the potential of who you can be. You see, God never creates junk. That each of us is created for a purpose. The issue of man, you know, the people who write the Bibles and the other holy books, I'm just amazed at the wisdom that they're able to impart. In Genesis, it talks so much about Genesis, the creation, and it's really about how do you create the life of your dreams? How do you create the life? And the essence of the Garden of Eden and the knowledge of good and evil is choice. And so we have to recognize that we were created by an all-powerful, all-knowing being for a purpose, for a reason. And not only that we were created complete. And so be aware of our present condition to know where we are starting from in our life positioning system to our potential, where we want to go with our life positioning system. Step two, to realize that you are special and unique. That all the things that are happening to you, they may happen to other people, but that has nothing to do with you. The fact that they're happening to you means that there's a purpose there for your growth and your inspiration. That you are special and unique. You are a seed. Every seed is created complete. The seed for an oak tree does not have to go to school to learn how to be an oak tree. The seed for the rose does not have to go and learn how to be a rose. In other words, the seed as created is complete unto itself to fulfill its purpose and destiny. The unique thing of man is that we have that ability to create also in the nature of good, in the nature of God. And the essence of a seed is growth. That when we look at a seed, we may see only a seed, but that seed embodies all the potential of what it can be. And so all of the things that you're going through right now in your life, all of the experiences that you're having right now in your life is for you to grow through, to help you realize your destiny. And the thing that keeps leading you to your destiny is that knowledge that there's something good. There's something great that you were created to be, do, have, and inspire. The third key is to realize that everything is for the purpose of growth. That no matter what experience you may have in life, the mindset is don't go through it, grow through it. So whatever may be your challenge right now, ask yourself, what is the lesson that I can learn that can help me move to the next lesson? What choices can I make that can help me move to the next lesson? You know, my daughter and I, we were riding. My daughter she saw a, what's that car called? It's a little box car. Scion. Yes, Scion, I think it is. And when she saw it and she drove it and she had a chance to try it, she commented, she said, wow, there's a red one, there's a black one, there's a blue one. It's something about the moment you have an awareness of your situation, you'll see it happening all around you. Most of you experience it. You go and try out a Mercedes and all of a sudden everybody's driving Mercedes. And so when you recognize that everything is for the purpose of growth, then whatever experience you have, look at the good in it. It's always there. We just may not be seeing it. Sometimes we get so focused on past failures and past hurts and past relationships that we can't see the present potential. So third key, everything is for the purpose of growth. Fourth key, every level of growth brings a new awareness. Every level of growth brings a new awareness. That spiritual principle, and it says, you know, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I acted as a child. But now that I'm a man, I put away childish things and I operated on the level of being a man. And so this whole growth process is one in which every level of growth that you experience creates a new awareness. You see the cycle? That as you grow, you create a new awareness now. And then each awareness brings about a realization of who you are at that point in time and space. One of the challenges we have is the ego. You see, the ego will tell you that the level of awareness that you have achieved is the supreme level, that you are the one, that you have all the knowledge, that you have all the information. But this process, this growth process that every level brings about a new awareness, means that once you understand that, you set aside the ego, which says that you're the one, and you encourage the ego that I'm growing, because this is a process, that I'm not a finished process, that I'm always in the works. One of the great teachers talked about, you know, the searchers, you and I, those of us who are seeking to find that place in the universe, to find enlightenment. And he said, when you go to the mountaintop to find enlightenment, the only enlightenment you will ever find is the enlightenment you brought with you. So each level of awareness that you achieve in your life, you deal with it with what you brought with you. Because the fifth key is that each level of awareness, the growth process says this, that every level of awareness has incorporated within it the aspect of challenge that brings about new growth. And so life then becomes an ultimate process of growth, achievement, awareness, challenge, overcoming, growth, achievement, awareness, challenge, so that life becomes a never-ending process of growth, and that is our destiny. That as long as we grow, as long as we fulfill our purpose, there will always be the next step. Because that is the reason for our creation. And so are we being led to our destiny? Yes, we are. Do we have to follow? No, we don't. Doubt can undermine our journey to our destiny. Fear can undermine our journey to our destiny. Procrastination can undermine our journey to our destiny. That we have to keep the faith. And the faith is this. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And so the faith is that we are indeed a creature of the all-powerful creator by whatever name. That we are the created being, created in perfection, and that our lives should be devoted to realizing that perfection through pursuit, through growth, through challenge. Just as that seed for the oak tree hungers to become an oak tree, to grow, to be, the seed that is in us is hungry to grow and become what we were created to be. It's all about alignment, folks. That in this growth process, the greater awareness that we experience provides a foundation for even greater awareness. And that is what life is really all about. The fulfillment of life is really the fulfillment of growth. So let's recap, let's sum up. The 5 steps to let ourselves be led to our destiny is 1, awareness. Awareness of where we are, our condition, and awareness of our potential. 2, to recognize that we are special and unique. Every seed is separate and apart, a unique and distinct creation. 3, that everything that we go through is for the purpose of growth. That we don't go through experiences, we grow through experiences. 4, that every level of growth brings about a new awareness, a new understanding of who we are and what we are about. And 5, that every awareness brings about a new challenge. That life is an endless process, a never-ending cycle of growth, of increase, of enjoyment, of manifested potential. That when we can live our lives in this vibration of alignment, using our life positioning system to keep us on the path, understanding every trial and tribulation is for a good purpose, then we can truly become all that we want to be. We can do all that we want to do. We can have all that we want to have, and we can manifest the purpose and destiny for which we were created, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Whew, folks. Thank you so much for being with us today. And once again, I want to really ask you to help us get the message out. Thanks so much of you who've shared the message. But next week, each of us, let's get 3 more people on the broadcast. Number 2, go to our Facebook page, the page on which you watch this broadcast, Facebook/lifeskillinstitute. Like the page, follow the page, contribute. And number 3, be sure to subscribe to the Success Mentorship Network. All of the trainings and teachings that we have delivered over the years are being placed there for you to listen, to learn, and to enjoy. And as a part of that, you can become a part of our conference line on Saturday mornings where we discuss the program, the ideas after each lesson. So thank you so much again. Remember this, the best is yet to come, and I'll be here next Saturday morning, same time, same station, hoping, helping, having the faith that we will all go and grow through all that we desire.